it's Kim here from Kyms Homestead with you in the kitchen once again. Today I was actually lucky enough, well actually not today, it was yesterday I think. Went down to the supermarket to pick up some bread and they had a good special on chicken breast fillets and some chicken legs or chicken thighs. Now, as some of you might know, when I moved here about 8 months ago, unfortunately I lost nearly 40 jars of meat. Most of them were my chicken, or ugly chicken as some people call it. So I haven't had any in the pantry for the last 8 months. So I picked up 2 packets of chicken breast fillets and 1 packet of chicken thighs. Now I do prefer the chicken thighs. I find they're a lot more tender and flavourful. Now the chicken fillets, there's 4 to a pack and they're on special for $9.50 a kilo, and this pack here was $12.64. Once again, 4 to a pack, $12.38. This one here, 8 to a pack. This one is the chicken thigh fillets and it was $19.15 at $14.50 a kilo. $14.50? Yeah, $14.50 a kilo. So they're not cheap by any means, but they are very handy to have in the pantry. Goodness, he was coming in low. Yeah, it's very handy to have in the pantry for quick meals. I am going to be doing this a little bit differently. This is why I decided to bring you along with me and show you what I was doing. Normally I would cold pack these. Cold pack is just chopping up all the chicken, putting it in a jar, putting the lid on it and processing it. It does produce its own juice and quite a fair bit of it, which will pretty much cover the chicken, but I'm not putting that much in these jars because I can't eat it. So what I'm going to be doing is putting in a little chicken stock and some water into each jar to help create the fluid it needs to cover the chicken. And that will give me some extra chicken stock, mainly for when I'm doing chicken and rice. I separate the stock from the chicken and I'll use that stock to hydrate the rice or to cook the rice in, which gives me a chicken flavoured rice, or to make a nice gravy or anything like that. I can always use stock. So let's start. I'm going to be putting about 1/8 of a teaspoon of chicken stock into the jar. Now I'm putting water in first so that there's no air bubbles underneath the chicken when I put it in. But I'm only going to be putting in about 1/4 of a jar full. Now, unless it's a really fatty piece, I don't worry about cutting the fat off. To me, that's just extra flavour. And I'm going for reasonably large pieces. Probably about 1 inch square. Now I'm not going to overly pack it because, as I said, I can't eat a full jar, so most of this is actually going to be the stock. Now this is filtered water. I'm using filtered water because I don't like that horrible stuff that comes out of the tap. Well, I think you get the general idea of what I'm doing. So I'll bring you back when it's time to parcel up the chicken thigh fillets. Okay, so I got 10 jars out of that. Now I'm going to put 2 of these per jar. These will be just perfect for a casserole for probably 2 days. So we got 4 of those. Now, what I will do is just top up the water up to about 1 inch from the top. Now I'll go through and debubble each one. Make sure there's absolutely no air bubbles in there. There's none need topping up. Nope. Now I've got a nice clean rag here and some vinegar, especially because this is meat, and I'll just go round to the rim of every jar, thoroughly cleaning it and popping a lid and a ring on to finger tight. Now I will do that to each and every jar, and I'm also checking to make sure there are no chips or cracks or anything like that in the jar. somehow a second-hand lid got caught in this. So now I am using 4 jars canning lids. I had to send over to the States for these. Took about 4 months. This was when you couldn't get canning lids for love nor money. It was just after that I decided to move. So this is the second opportunity that I've had to use the lids. And so far they've been not too bad. Okay, so these will all now go into my canner. Now my canner has the appropriate amount of water in it. Please check your own canner instructions for how much water goes in there. It has a rack on the bottom to keep the jars off the burner. So these will go in there and they will process for 75 minutes. So when the canning is done, I'll bring you back and show you what we've got. Right, everybody's in the lifeboat. Now time to turn it on and put the lid on. Time to put the timer on for 10 minutes and let it vent. Well, we're all done, and what we have out of it is 10 jars of chicken breast fillet and stock. We also have 4 jars of chicken thigh fillets and stock, so that's 14 jars in all to go into the pantry for long-term storage. Doesn't have to be refrigerated, or if power goes out it's not going to worry it or anything like that. And they're already cooked, ready to go anytime I want to make a meal. Very, very handy to have on your shelves, and of course not taking up freezer space, which is great. I had 100% seal rate on this lot, which honestly I haven't had for a very, very long time. So I'm very happy with the 4 jars canning lids. And if they keep going this way, I'll be using them again, absolutely. Well, that's it for me for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, give me a big chickeny thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel, please think about subscribing. That would be very, very helpful and much appreciated. Alright guys, I will catch you again on another video, so I'll see you soon. Bye for now.